Hello everyone, welcome back to Streed's Guide to Fraggle Rock, and today I'm going to be reviewing Season 3, Episode 12, Scared Silly. This episode starts out with Doc and Sprocket arriving home from the store. Doc has forgotten his keys in the workshop and asks Sprocket if he could go through the doggy door and grab them. Once in there, however, Sprocket discovers a cleverly laid trap set by Schimmelfinny.
Sprocket, let me in, will you? Come on, Sprocket! Schimmelfinny. I'll get him for this.
Meanwhile on the rock, Wembley's excitedly heading to see Boober, but when he arrives, he's nowhere to be found until Boober pops up and scares the tits off him. Naturally, Wembley's a bit frustrated with Boober, and he reveals that he's conducting a test to make sure his Bluebius, the Fragglish term for tail, is in fine working order. He mentions that he's conducting this test with everyone, but for some reason, this entire episode, Wembley is the only one who makes a direct effort to terrify. Wembley plots to scare Boober, but he's got nothing in mind, so he heads to the trash heap for some much-needed advice. There, we see Philo and Gunge being annoying, while Marjorie reprimands them, and I deeply, unquestionably share her pain. I know exactly how it feels when someone interrupts my tranquility. Wembley arrives, telling her of his trying situation, and in response, she gives some genuinely good advice, saying that should he seek revenge, he'll take the consequences. Philo and Gunge bicker yet again, and the trash heap retreats into herself. Wembley is dissatisfied with her advice, however, so Philo and Gunge fill in and encourage him to strike back, giving him a few pointers. This devolves into arguing, and the trash heap comes up again, reprimanding the two and echoing her advice to Wembley. Wembley doesn't listen, however, and after she retreats, Philo and Gunge sing a silly, spooky song to help Wembley get into scare mode. It'd make for one hell of a Halloween song, too.
Sing it for the goblins. Sing it for the ghouls. Woo! Sing it for the ghosties. And make them feel like fools. Oh boy, 'cause I know how to dare them. I don't even spare them. I just stand and stare them.
Who's afraid of spiders? Who's afraid of snakes? Who's afraid of bad things? Making Fraggles quake.
Well, I know how to dare them. I don't even spare them. I just stand and stare them, and then I sneak up behind them, and I get ready, and then I let him have it, and I go, woo!
Wembley then loudly plots scaring Boober, unaware of the fact that Boober's watching and listening. He hides in the laundry, but when Boober's nowhere to be seen, he goes in for the kill and terrifies Wembley. We suddenly cut to a postcard, and Matt's somehow broken and entered into a home again and scares two children sleeping, with his motivation being to test their Bluebiuses, which makes absolutely no sense considering that Matt should be well aware that silly creatures don't have Bluebiuses. Afterwards, Boober's seemingly unnerved at the prospect of being scared by Wembley, all the while Wembley eavesdrops and makes his move, unintentionally scaring Moki and Red in the process. Naturally, Wembley's furious with Boober as he continues to pester him.
Wembley, why don't you forget about trying to scare me? I've got to go get some more rock soap. You want to come with me down to Rock Soap Cavern?
No.
Oh, come on, Wembley. Please, come on.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Wait a second.
Huh?
You're going all the way down to Rock Soap Cavern now?
Well, yes, I have to wash all that laundry you hid under.
On second thought, I think maybe I might just stay behind and polish my pebble collection or something like that.
Okay,
you know?
suit yourself.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, boy, I'm gonna get him this time. Pebble, spider, snake.
Wembley, it's all in the timing.
Sometime later, Wembley's making preparations to give Boober the biggest fright of his life to the tune of a silly, whimsical song only Wembley could sing. I repeat, only Wembley could sing.
Squeak squat, a lot, ooh, make it scary. Very, very, quite contrary. Wahoo! Cash and carry, a bebop, a little dromedary, but necessary to do. Well, if this don't get ya, I don't think. If this don't get ya, wrong thing. If this don't get ya, oh.
Back in the trash heap's abode, Philo and Gunge pulled a snake trick on Marjorie, and Wembley returns, excitedly telling him the scare he's got planned for Boober, with Marjorie saying that she nearly blew up at Philo and Gunge, to which Wembley takes far too literally, with Philo and Gunge taking advantage of this. Honestly, this is where an otherwise great episode slowly begins to slip into flawed territory. I don't believe for a second that Wembley would ever believe this. He may not be the most intelligent Fraggle on the rock, but he's verily not this stupid. This is the kind of idiocy that should be reserved for Junior Gorg, not Wembley. Maybe a naive early season 1 Wembley, but definitely not a moderately grown-up season 3 Wembley. We cut back to Boober's room, and he's predictably unfazed, pointing out every childish trick Wembley had of his banana tree shirt. Since the room's in a bit of a state, he decides to sleep in the pantry instead. Wembley rushes in, panicked, and immediately jumps to the conclusion that Boober's blown up. Even supposing Wembley was this addlepated as to believe you can actually spontaneously combust from fright, wouldn't there be some shred of evidence that he's blown up? What about his hat and scarf, or even his fur? Whatever the case, the first quarter of this episode is promising, but the writing really dampens it the more you think about it. Back in the workshop, Doc begins setting up a trap of his own for Schimmelfinny. Quite an elaborate one, I might add. Meanwhile on the rock, Wembley's panicked, rushing to his friends for help, but unintentionally scaring them in the process.
Wembley, you did it again! What'd I do? Wembley! Huh? It worked! You scared us. Yeah. Go tell Boober our Volubiuses are still in great shape.
That's just the
point.
And
Wembley.
What?
Don't ever do that again!
I have to... No.
Boober returns for a brief spell to get his pajamas, but Wembley just misses him, feeling extreme remorse for believing he's caused the death of his friend. It's actually quite a heartbreaking scene, elevated by the somber score. I'll admit, I get teary-eyed while watching this.
What am I gonna do? If they're all mad at me now, wait till they hear that I blew Boober up. Oh, if only I hadn't tried to get back at him for scaring me. He was only testing my Volubius. I'm so sorry, Boober. I'll clean this place up. I know you wouldn't have wanted to leave a messy room. Oh, the spiders. Start with the spiders. Here they are, right next to it. Hey, where are his pajamas? They must have blown up with it!
Philo and Gunge appear and reveal that they've promised Marjorie that they'd apologize for fooling Wembley. One thing leads to another, and they accidentally scare Wembley into fainting. They promptly leave, and Wembley comes to, believing he's blown up, and he's in the land of having blown up.
Good grief!
The fucking writing in this episode. I'm well aware that this is a comedy-oriented episode, but there's no excuse for writing this abysmal. Jocelyn Stevenson is capable of so much greater, as evidenced by the other episodes she's written, such as Moki and the Minstrels, Beyond the Pond, and The Honk of Honks. There's suspending disbelief, and then there's downright expecting delusion from the audience to believe a character like Wembley would be this unfathomably stupid. Anyways, Boober returns from his nap, and Wembley tells him the grave news that they've blown up. Naturally, Boober hasn't the foggiest of what he's talking about, and Moki, Red, and Gobo arrive, telling off Boober for supposedly sending Philo and Gunge to scare them, which culminates in Wembley's rage being unleashed.
We wouldn't be in a land of having blown up if we hadn't blown up, now would we, huh? Would we, huh? What would you say to that, huh?
What's wrong with him?
Huh?
Who blew up?
Yeah.
No, wait, listen!
We're sorry. We was just kidding. You can't blow up from being scared.
What?
No. Particularly if you have a Volubius.
Yeah.
You mean I didn't,
Nope.
and we haven't... Oh, Boober! I'm so glad I didn't blow you up, and I promise never to do it again.
I'm the one who's sorry, Wembley.
Huh?
Well, Volubious testing is fine, but I just took it one step too far.
You scared yourself!
Well, I told you I'm an expert.
We return to the workshop, and Doc's consumed with boredom, waiting for Schimmelfinny to arrive, coming to his senses by realizing how pointless this whole exercise truly was.
Come on, Sprocket. Let's forget the whole thing.
Talk about a mixed bag. With the brain switched off, this is quite a fun, light-hearted Halloween-adjacent episode. However, it's difficult to ignore just how haphazardly written it is. I don't believe for a second Wembley would be dumb enough to genuinely believe that you could combust from fright, nor end up in a mysterious land of those having combusted. As mentioned, this is Junior Gorg levels of idiocy. It just doesn't feel consistent with Wembley's character at all. He's naive and tacitly gullible, sure, but he's not borderline brain dead. That's really the biggest flaw dragging this episode down. I also feel the moral is somewhat muddled here. I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I believe this should have been a far more serious episode. Perhaps something akin to the Perfect Blue Rolly or even the River of Life. Now, the takeaway for this episode is not going too far along with the consequences of revenge, right?
Yes!
So keeping this in mind, my perfect version of this episode would somewhat mirror the Doc subplot, involving a prank war between Wembley and Boober. The pranks would result in various degrees of intensity until Boober is unintentionally harmed or even believed to be dead. In a non-graphic way, of course. This is a children's show. We'll just say Wembley gives him false directions to a tunnel far more dangerous than he thought, causing him to rush to the tunnel only to find Boober's scarf near a bottomless chasm. That way, the central conflict of this episode is maintained, but implemented in a far more gripping manner. Naturally, the episode would end with a faux funeral for Boober, with Boober noticing how distraught his friends are, breaking his heart, and causing him to fess up to this dastardly trick, sincerely apologizing to Wembley, with the two having learned a valuable lesson about the cost of vengeance, and the line between a harmless joke and a cruel trick. It's not perfect, somewhat cliched, but infinitely better than the confused, contrived mess we were given instead. Fun fact, this episode's concept was initially derived from real-life experiences between Steve Whitmire and Dave Goelz, who'd occasionally pull pranks on each other, which resulted in the conception of this episode. As for the songs, Scare Them is a delightfully wicked tune, perfect for Halloween. Very Scary, aka If This Don't Getcha, is a quintessential Wembley song. No other Fraggle, hell, no other voice actor could possibly replicate Whitmire's unique vocal intonations for Wembley. As for the Doc subplot, it was okay. Not really all that memorable considering they've done this one before, but Doc triggering his own scare trap still gives me a chuckle. Overall, this was a delightfully zany, spooky episode with a strong moral, even if its writing leaves much to be desired. I'm gonna give this one a passable, guilty pleasure mushroom. Well guys, that was the review, and I will see you all next time.